Beloved soul, if this title brought a certain person to your mind immediately, pause for a moment and remember them gently. Maybe there is someone you still miss, someone whose name carries memories that time has never completely erased. Perhaps tonight you remembered their voice, their smile, their advice, or one ordinary moment that somehow became precious after they were gone. We cannot know for certain whether someone who has passed away can literally call your name from heaven, but we can recognize something beautiful. The love you shared can continue living through your memories and through the person you are becoming. Sometimes a memory arrives at exactly the moment we need comfort, and it can feel incredibly personal because that person mattered so deeply to us. Maybe there is something they taught you that you need to remember today. Perhaps they once told you to believe in yourself when you were uncertain, to keep going when things became difficult, or to appreciate the people who stood beside you. Maybe they showed you through their actions what kindness, patience, courage, or generosity looked like. Think about that quality now. Ask yourself whether you are carrying it forward. Because one of the most meaningful ways to honor someone you love is not simply to remember them, but to allow something good they gave you to continue through your life. Their voice may not literally be speaking from another place, but the lessons they left inside you can still guide your choices. Perhaps there are words you never had the chance to say. Maybe you wanted to thank them, apologize, tell them how proud you were, or simply say, "I love you." If those words are still inside your heart, you can give them a place tonight. Write a letter. Say the words quietly. Pray if prayer is meaningful to you. Look at a photograph and remember what that person brought into your life. You cannot change the past, but you can acknowledge your feelings and allow yourself to remember without judgment. And if tears come, let them come gently. Tears do not mean you are weak. Sometimes they simply show that someone mattered. You can miss someone and still smile. You can remember them and continue building your own future. You can experience happiness without betraying the person you lost. Moving forward does not mean leaving them behind. It means carrying the best parts of what they taught you into the life that is still unfolding. Maybe tonight's deepest message is actually about the people who are still here. Loss can teach us how valuable ordinary moments are. If there is someone you love today, tell them you appreciate them. Spend a little time with them. Listen to their stories. Laugh together. Do not always wait for a special occasion to create meaningful memories. The simple moments we sometimes overlook can become the memories we treasure most. Beloved soul, remember this: you are still allowed to dream, grow, laugh, and live fully. The person you miss can remain an important part of your story without becoming the reason you stop writing new chapters. Let their memory inspire kindness. Let their lessons give you wisdom. Let your love for them remind you to appreciate the people around you while you have the opportunity. Take a deep breath and say, "I honor the people I love. I treasure their memories, and I carry their love forward with peace." Beloved soul, perhaps you opened this message because one particular person immediately came to your mind, someone whose name still carries a feeling that is difficult to explain. Maybe you remember their voice, their smile, their way of speaking, or the little things they used to do that seemed ordinary at the time but now feel incredibly precious. There may be moments when you are completely fine and then, without expecting it, a memory returns and suddenly you feel everything again. A familiar place, an old photograph, a song, a family story, or even a quiet evening can bring someone back into your thoughts so clearly that it almost feels as though they are close. We cannot know for certain whether someone who has passed away can literally communicate from heaven, but we can understand that love leaves an imprint on us, and that imprint can remain for a lifetime. The person may no longer be physically present, but the lessons they taught, the kindness they showed, the memories you created, and the values you learned from them can continue influencing the person you become. Sometimes what feels like a message from the past is actually your own heart reminding you of something that still matters. Maybe there was something this person always wanted for you. Perhaps they wanted you to believe in yourself, take your education or goals seriously, treat people with kindness, stay close to family, or become someone who could face life with courage. Maybe they saw potential in you before you were able to see it yourself. Think about that now. What would you want to carry forward from them? Perhaps it is their patience. Perhaps it is their sense of humor. Perhaps it is the way they helped people without expecting recognition. Perhaps it is their ability to remain hopeful during difficult times. Whatever quality comes to mind, let it become more than a memory. Practice it. If they taught you kindness, show kindness today. If they taught you perseverance, continue working towards something meaningful. If they taught you gratitude, notice what is already good in your life. In this way, something valuable from their life continues through yours. Maybe there are also words you never got to say. You may have wished you could thank them for something they did, tell them how much they meant to you, apologize for an old misunderstanding, or simply tell them that you still remember them. Those unfinished feelings can stay inside the heart for a long time. If you have something you wish you could say, give yourself permission to express it privately. Write a letter and keep it somewhere safe. Speak the words quietly when you are alone. Pray if prayer is meaningful to you. Talk to someone who knew them and share a memory. You cannot change what happened, but you can give your feelings a voice. Sometimes the heart becomes lighter when the words that have been trapped inside finally have somewhere to go. And beloved soul, if remembering them brings tears tonight, do not feel embarrassed by those tears. Tears can simply mean that the relationship mattered. You can miss someone deeply and still continue living. You can remember them and still laugh. You can feel sadness and still experience moments of happiness. You can create new memories without erasing old ones. There is no rule saying that moving forward means forgetting. Moving forward can mean carrying the love, lessons, and memories with you while continuing to build the life that remains in front of you. Perhaps the truth that touches your heart most is the realization that the person you miss may have influenced you more than you ever understood. Maybe something about the way they treated you shaped the way you treat other people today. Maybe their advice still enters your mind when you face a difficult decision. Maybe you learned how important family is because of the time you spent with them. Maybe they encouraged you to dream bigger. Maybe they taught you that ordinary moments can be meaningful. These influences are part of your story now. You do not need to prove that they are somehow physically present to recognize that their impact is real. Maybe tonight is also asking you to look at the people who are still beside you. When we experience loss, we sometimes become more aware of how quickly ordinary moments can become memories. If there is someone you love today, do not wait for a perfect occasion to show them appreciation. Ask them how they are doing. Sit with them. Listen to their stories. Share a meal. Laugh together. Tell them something kind. Put your phone aside for a few minutes and simply be present. These small moments may seem unimportant now, but years later they can become some of the memories you value most. Perhaps you have also been carrying guilt about something from the past. Maybe you keep thinking about what you should have said or done differently. If there is something you can responsibly repair in your present life, take a thoughtful step toward repairing it. But if something cannot be changed, remember that you cannot give your past self the knowledge you have today. You can learn from your experiences without allowing them to become a permanent punishment. Growth means understanding what happened, accepting what cannot be changed, and using what you have learned to make better choices now. And perhaps the person you miss would want you to stop believing that you have to remain sad in order to prove that you loved them. You do not. Love can exist alongside happiness. You can celebrate a success and still remember them. You can laugh with your family and still carry their memory. You can pursue a dream they once encouraged you to pursue. You can enjoy a beautiful day without feeling guilty for enjoying it. Your life continuing does not diminish their importance. If anything, living with gratitude and purpose can become one of the most meaningful ways to honor what they gave you. Beloved soul, if this message has brought someone to your mind, take a moment and remember one beautiful thing about them. Do not focus only on the moment you lost them. Think about the moments they gave you. Remember a conversation. Remember a laugh. Remember something they taught you. Remember a small act of kindness. Let that memory remind you that your relationship contained more than its ending. It contained a life, experiences, lessons, and love that became part of you. And if tonight feels emotional, be gentle with yourself. You do not have to solve every feeling immediately. Talk to someone you trust if you need support. Share the memory. Let someone listen. You are not required to carry everything silently. Sometimes healing begins when we allow ourselves to be honest about what we miss. Perhaps the most beautiful truth is this: someone can leave your physical world and still remain part of your personal story. Their influence can continue through your choices. Their kindness can inspire your kindness. Their lessons can become your wisdom. Their memories can remind you to appreciate the people you still have. Their life can continue to mean something because you choose to carry something good forward. Take a quiet breath and say, I am grateful for the love I have known. I honor the memories, I accept my feelings, and I will carry the good forward. Beloved soul, if someone you love came to your mind while listening to these words, stay here for a moment and let that memory exist without trying to push it away. Perhaps there is a person whose absence changed something inside you, someone whose name still carries 1,000 memories, someone whose presence once made ordinary days feel special. Maybe you remember the way they laughed, the advice they gave, the way they looked at you when they were proud, or a simple moment that you never realized would become so precious. There are memories that time does not erase because they became part of who we are. We cannot know for certain whether someone who has passed away can literally call our name from heaven, but we can understand that love leaves a lasting influence. The person you miss may continue to live through the lessons they gave you, the values they taught you, and the kindness you learned from knowing them. Sometimes a memory appears when your heart needs encouragement, and instead of asking whether it is a supernatural message, you can simply ask, "What does this memory want me to remember?" Perhaps it reminds you to be stronger. Perhaps it reminds you to appreciate your family. Perhaps it reminds you that you are capable of more than you believe. Perhaps it reminds you that you are loved, and that is something worth carrying forward. Maybe there is a dream you have been afraid to pursue because you remember how much this person believed in you. Perhaps they once encouraged you when you had very little confidence, and now you wish they could see how far you have come. If that thought brings emotion, let it motivate you instead of holding you back. Imagine taking one small step towards something meaningful today and allowing their memory to remind you why you started. You do not have to accomplish everything immediately. You simply have to continue. Learn something new. Improve a skill. Take care of an important responsibility. Spend time with someone who matters. Become a little more patient, a little more courageous, and a little more grateful. These ordinary choices can become a beautiful way of carrying someone's influence into the future. The person may no longer be physically beside you, but something they gave you can continue through your actions, and that is a powerful form of remembrance. Perhaps there are also things you wish you could ask them. You may wonder what advice they would give you about your current life, your relationships, your goals, or the choices you are making. While we cannot know exactly what someone who has passed away would say today, you can think about what you already know about their values. What did they believe was important? What qualities did they respect? How did they respond when someone needed help? What advice did they give you when you were younger? Sometimes the answer you are searching for is hidden inside the lessons you already received. You do not need to invent their voice or pretend to receive a supernatural message. You can honor their memory by using the wisdom they actually shared with you. If they taught you patience, practice patience. If they valued honesty, choose honesty. If they encouraged education, keep learning. If they cared about family, make time for the people who are still here. And beloved soul, maybe there is one thing you need to forgive yourself for. Perhaps you keep replaying something from the past and wishing you had behaved differently. Maybe you regret a conversation, a missed opportunity, or words that were never spoken. If there is something you can repair today, take a responsible. Beloved soul, as we reach the final part of this message, take one quiet moment and remember the person who came into your thoughts when you first heard this title. Maybe their name appeared immediately, perhaps because you still carry a special place for them in your heart. Maybe you remember their voice, their smile, their advice, their habits, or a simple moment that seemed ordinary at the time but became precious later. We cannot know for certain whether someone who has passed away can literally call your name from heaven, but we can recognize something deeply meaningful. The love you shared with them can continue influencing your life. Their presence may no longer be physical, but their lessons, values, memories, and kindness can remain part of who you are. Perhaps the truth your heart needs tonight is not a supernatural secret but a simple reminder that the people we love can leave something beautiful inside us, and that something can continue growing long after they are gone. Maybe this person taught you something that you did not fully understand when they were alive. Perhaps they encouraged you to believe in yourself, to stay close to family, to work hard, to be honest, to forgive, or to keep going when life became difficult. Maybe they had a way of making you feel understood when nobody else seemed to notice what you were carrying. Think about the qualities you admired most in them. Was it their patience? Their courage? Their kindness? Their sense of humor? Their generosity? Their ability to make ordinary moments feel special? Whatever comes to mind, consider carrying that quality forward. One of the most beautiful ways to honor someone's memory is to allow something good they gave you to continue through your own life. If they taught you kindness, show kindness. If they taught you courage, take a thoughtful step towards something meaningful. If they taught you gratitude, appreciate the people and opportunities already around you. Their influence can continue not because you need to imagine them speaking from another world, but because their life genuinely changed yours. Perhaps there are words you still wish you could say. Maybe you wanted to tell them how much you loved them, how grateful you were, how much their support meant to you, or how much you regret something that happened between you. Those unfinished feelings can remain for a long time, and sometimes they return unexpectedly. If there are words inside you that need somewhere to go, write them down. Write their name at the top of a page and say everything you wish you could have said. You can keep the letter private. You can pray if prayer is meaningful to you. You can talk with someone who knew them and share the memories you carry. These things cannot change the past, but they can help you process the emotions connected to it. You do not need to pretend that every memory is perfect. You can acknowledge the beautiful moments and the complicated ones. You can be grateful for what was good while accepting that some things cannot be changed. And beloved soul, if tears come while you remember them, let those tears come without judging yourself. Sometimes tears are simply evidence that someone mattered deeply. You can miss someone and still be happy. You can remember them and still laugh. You can create new memories without betraying the old ones. You can celebrate your progress without feeling guilty that they are not here to see it. Moving forward does not mean leaving someone behind. It means continuing your own story while carrying the lessons and love that became part of you. Your life still deserves to be lived. There are still goals to pursue, people to meet, lessons to learn, places to see, and ordinary moments that can become beautiful memories. You do not have to stop living because someone you loved is no longer physically beside you. Maybe the person you miss would have wanted you to believe in your own future. Perhaps they saw something in you that you could not see at the time. Maybe they encouraged you to keep studying, keep working, keep creating, or keep believing in yourself. If so, let their memory become encouragement rather than sadness. Take one small step towards something you care about. You do not need to accomplish everything immediately. You only need to continue. Your progress may be slow sometimes, but slow progress is still progress. Every skill you learn, every mistake you correct, every responsibility you handle, and every time you choose to keep going can become part of the life you are building. Perhaps tonight also reminds you to appreciate the people who are still here. Loss can teach us how valuable ordinary moments are. If someone matters to you today, tell them. Spend time with them. Ask how they are doing. Listen when they speak. Share a meal. Laugh together. Put away distractions for a few minutes and simply be present. You never know which ordinary conversation will become a precious memory years from now. You do not need to wait for a special occasion to express love and gratitude. Sometimes a simple, "I am glad you are in my life," can mean more than an elaborate gesture. If you have been carrying guilt about the past, be gentle with yourself while still taking responsibility where you can. If something can be repaired today, make an honest effort. If you owe someone an apology, consider giving one. If there is something you learned from a past mistake, use that lesson to make better choices now. But if something truly belongs to the past and cannot be changed, do not spend your entire future punishing yourself for it. You cannot give your past self the knowledge you have today. You can only take what you have learned and use it wisely. Maybe the most important truth of this entire message is that love can leave a legacy. Someone can influence your life even after their physical presence is gone. Their kindness can become part of how you treat others. Their advice can become part of how you make decisions. Their memories can remind you to appreciate life. Their struggles can teach you resilience. Their dreams can inspire you to pursue your own. Their love can become one of the reasons you choose to live with greater purpose. So tonight, do not focus only on the ending of their story. Remember the chapters you shared. Remember the laughter, the conversations, the lessons, the small acts of kindness, and the moments that made you feel connected. If you feel tears, let them come. If you smile, let yourself smile. If you feel grateful, express that gratitude. There is room in your heart for many emotions at once. You do not have to choose between remembering someone and enjoying your present life. And if this message brought a specific person to your mind, perhaps the best thing you can do tonight is carry one of their best qualities into tomorrow. Let their memory become an action. Be a little kinder. Be a little more patient. Call someone you care about. Continue a goal you almost abandoned. Forgive yourself for something you have learned from. Appreciate an ordinary moment. In these small ways, something meaningful from the person you loved can continue through you. Beloved soul, you are not required to prove that a message came from heaven in order for your memories to matter. You do not need certainty about the unseen world to recognize the love that was real in your own life. What you experienced, what you learned, and how that person influenced you are part of your story. Let that be enough tonight. Let the memory bring peace instead of pressure. Let the love remind you that you are capable of giving love to others too. Take one final deep breath and say, I honor the people I love. I am grateful for every memory, every lesson, and every moment we shared. I carry the good forward with love, gratitude, and peace. And remember, beloved soul, your story is still continuing. There are still chapters you have not written, people you have not met, lessons you have not learned, and beautiful ordinary moments waiting to become memories. You can carry the person you miss without stopping your own journey. You can honor the past while creating a meaningful future. You can remember them with tears one day and gratitude the next. There is no perfect way to love someone you have lost. There is only your way, and whatever that looks like, give yourself patience. Comment, I carry their love in my heart. Like, comment and subscribe for more uplifting messages.